Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, Deb is at the Combat Air Museum in Topeka. Join us as we take a virtual tour of the property and feel like you're in the middle of the action with this unique and up-close and personal hands-on treasure nestled right here on the south edge of the capital city. If you're interested in history, military, or aviation, you won't want to miss it. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress Powered by Kansas farmers. Around Kansas brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Welcome to Around Kansas. We're smack dab in the middle of the Combat Air Museum at Forbes Field, and with me is Jeanne Howard, who's been here from the beginning of this incredible museum. And Jeanne is chairman of the board of the directors of the Combat Air Museum. And Jeanne, it's just great to be with you.
Well, I thank you for coming and doing this. We need all the advertising we can get.
Well, this is an incredible place, so tell us just how you got started.
Well, first of all, let me say that this really, truly is a labor of love. And I think that the people should understand that we're a 100% volunteer organization here at the Combat Air Museum. We hire a full-time curator and a part-time office manager, and everybody else is volunteers. And we have retirees from IBM, and we have retirees from the Hills Pet Food, Colgate Palmolive. We have people from just all different walks of life. Our accountant is even a banker, retired banker, who comes in and volunteers to do that. But anyway, the Combat Air Museum was really an idea from a local guy Topeka high school student who lived in Topeka by the name of Bob Schneider. And Bob was interested in aviation, and after he graduated from Topeka High School in 1959, I don't know where he went in aviation, but he got to know a lot of people.
Right.
And one of his acquaintances was a guy by the name of David Talichet. Now, most people wouldn't know David Talichet other than the fact that he owned more World War II aircraft than anybody in the world. He had about 105 airplanes. And so Bob saw an opportunity to try to tap him to get him to bring his airplanes to Topeka, where we would hangar them and we could fly them and do everything with them and so on. And it would save him, let's face it, money in California doing all this because they were here in our museum. Well, David Talichet, for those who don't know, was Conrad Hilton's son-in-law.
Oh, wow.
And he was married to Conrad Hilton's daughter. And through that family, they started a business called the 190th Aerospace Restaurants around the country that were in airports. And it was David's idea that he would take the proceeds from all that business and he would put it in old aircraft. And then at the same time, they would increase in value and therefore the money would go up. I don't know that really turned out to be true, that it really happened, but he did have all these airplanes, and that was his idea, that they would increase in value. So we started with a B-24 bomber, and we've just acquired over the years. I should say we were a flying museum at this time. We used to fly the airplanes and we hangared them and did our thing. And after we met at Washburn University and got this organization started in about 1975, and over the years we've just developed into what we are now. We quit flying about 10 or 12 years ago. We don't fly airplanes anymore. It's too expensive to fly airplanes, and insurance and one thing another. So anyway, we worked our way up. We have about 40 aircraft in the museum here, and no, we don't fly any of them anymore. But,
well, it's stunning. There's a lot more to talk about with Combat Air Museum, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at beyondtheelevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road.
Welcome back to the Combat Air Museum, and with me is Dick Troop, and Dick has been here from the beginning. Is that right, Dick?
Well,
Or
pretty close. Yeah, 1980. It's
Well,
not quite the beginning.
Not quite the beginning, but so many of these planes, like I think the one we're standing in front of, everybody said, well, that's Dick's baby, so why don't you tell us about this?
All right, this aircraft we're in front of is an F9F5 Panther, and it actually flew in the Korean War. This very aircraft with this number 110 and then the bureau number of the Navy on the tail. And at the time we dedicated this, when we had it restored, there were 4 pilots who had flown it in combat in Korea. And now there is 1 left. Mm-hmm. And he's a retired, he was the chief of naval operations. And he flew the aircraft, and we still have contact with his name. His name is Tom Hayward. And he's taken a liking to the museum, and of course we have his aircraft.
That's wonderful.
So it's a good story.
Now, Jeanne spoke to us about, the sort of the beginning of the museum was a collector that,
Yes.
had a bunch of planes. But as you've added aircraft, where have they come from? How have you acquired those?
Good question. We've a large majority of our aircraft come through the Air Force Museum, the Navy's Museum, the Army's Control Point in Michigan. And then we have purchased and owned probably 9 aircraft of our own here. And then we've had, there are several loaners in here, and we've had some donated. Some of these replicas that hang from the overhead here were given to us, World War I replicas. So it's kind of across the board, Deb. Loaners, our own, and then the museums and the Army's loaning point.
Let's talk about the ME-109 real quick, because that's a favorite of mine, and obviously not an American plane. That's
German.
So yeah, it's a German. So talk about that one, and that's a replica as well.
Well, that's an interesting piece. It's actually a model, it's a prototype model of an ME-109G10, and it got here. It was originally belonged to David Telechet, who had a lot to do with this museum.
Right.
And it was one of Telechet's collections, and it was in the background in the Battle of Britain.
In the movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of folks will remember the movie, The Battle of Britain. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It was a movie. It wasn't a real action. And from a distance, it looks exactly like a 109. However, it's a mock-up. When you get up closer, you can tell. But we're really fortunate to have it because there are not many 109s left. The Germans manufactured about 33,000 of those during the Second World War, and most are destroyed, long gone. But we have the replica, restoration, you might say, mock-up, and it's a good one to have.
Well, that's just another piece of aviation history, isn't it? Because World War II and Germany was doing so much with planes, and the new Messerschmitt jet, and there were just so many advances made on both sides during World War II.
That's
so
right.
To be able to tell both sides of the story is really something.
It's important. We would never have an aircraft, a real prototype aircraft from World War II. Well, never say never, but not likely. So we're really fortunate to have what we have there.
Every aircraft has a story, doesn't it?
It does.
Just amazing. and you've just got such a beautiful collection. And as Jeanne said, it really is a labor of love to take care of these, to find them and to take care of them and restore them. And just thanks so much. We appreciate it.
You bet.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Now is the best time of the year to fertilize your lawns. The best product for our area is Fertilome Lawn Food Plus Iron. With its blend of fast and slower release nitrogen and a complete formula of minor nutrients, Fertilome Lawn Food Plus Iron provides your lawn with nutrients for the darkest green lawn in your neighborhood.
Bring in a soil sample from your lawn for a free pH test. Get your soil recommendations from the experts at Jackson's.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from Doc Talk. If you miss us on Monday morning, you can join us at 6:30 a.m. every Sunday morning on RFD TV. Doc Talk has a national following. We're sure glad that you joined us on Mondays, but if you miss us and you want to catch us out on a Sunday morning, get up at 6:30 a.m. and we'll be right there, RFD TV, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll see you down the road.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Welcome back to the Combat Air Museum, and with me is Dave Murray. And Dave talks a little funny because he's from Rhodesia. And Dave does a lot of the educational programming and the outreach here at the museum. And what a wonderful teaching tool this is.
It really is, because we're right on an active air base here and an airport. So a lot of the Air National Guard, the Army National Guard, MTAA and the control tower folk are very, very kind to us. They let the kids come over, visit the facility, climb all over the KC-135s and Black Hawk helicopters. So the kids have a great time, and one of the best things they do is look through the night vision goggles at the Army National Guard. But we do teach them a little bit about the fundamentals of flight and structures of airplanes and why airplanes fly. And so we do try to instill some learning in them.
So it's a good way to get kids interested in science, as well as, you know, we think obviously military and applications.
And math.
But math and science is a big
Wherever they go, the folks in the National Guards emphasize math, because they do a lot of calculations on weight of fuel in the planes and distance that they can travel, including the temperature ranges that they have to deal with.
So Dave, can you tell me about the regular classes that the Combat Air Museum offers throughout the year?
In fact, we offer 4 classes during the year, 3 during summer vacations and 1 during spring break. And we basically do 4 days in the week, Monday through Thursday, 9 through 12:30, and we take the kids through the instructional stuff that I talked about, and then after that we have them visit with the other military facilities around the airfield here, and they also get to fly in our brand new flight simulator, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, they really do. So we try to make it as much fun, but we try to make it a learning opportunity. And as I say, all the military have treated us very, very well.
Well, aviation is such a big part of Kansas.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I mean, we're literally the heartland of America, but the heartland when it comes to aviation as well.
Yeah, and one of our instructors has really wanted to do a 2 or 3 day class on the history of aviation in Kansas with Longren and some of the others, Amelia Earhart and Philip Billard, etc. So we're trying to put that together if we can. We also do a Scout Aviation Merit Badge instruction, and we're having one come up soon. But we take parts of the aviation badge that we can cover with some of the instructional items here, and then the Scouts go down into the control tower, and they also get a tour of the museum.
Wow, you're right. Being on an active base is just
it really is very helpful.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of Around Kansas.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from Doc Talk. If you miss us on Monday morning, you can join us at 6:30 a.m. every Sunday morning on RFD TV. Doc Talk has a national following. We're sure glad that you joined us on Mondays, but if you miss us and you want to catch us out on a Sunday morning, get up at 6:30 a.m. and we'll be right there, RFD TV, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll see you down the road.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop liquid crop nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. Around Kansas, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress Powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Around Kansas. I'm Deb Beisel, and with me again is Jeanne Howard at the Combat Air Museum. Jeanne, this is a tremendous operation, so how do you guys get the funding to keep this going?
Well, the majority of the money that we get here comes through people coming in the front door who visit the museum, and then also our gift shop, the money we make in the gift shop. Now, we've been very fortunate because a lot of our members, we have about 280 members or 280 people we send our newsletter to around the country now. And those people have been very generous in helping us with some, when they pay their dues, which are $35 a year, a lot of them will send $100 Some
So
of us,
anybody can join? You don't have to have any affiliation with
anybody can join the Combat Air Museum that wants, and then they can come out and they can volunteer. And the thing is that that's how we get funding that way. We have 3 main events each year, which I'll tell you real quick. Our annual Celebrity Pancake Feed is coming up on April the 26th. We'll have about 700 people here flipping pancakes.
Wow.
And
it's a great event.
But we'll have our, like, congressmen, senators, radio, TV personalities, sports figures, and people from all these different places that will come in and flip pancakes. It'll be Perkins Pancakes with Bob Carmichael. And at the same time, we have entertainment. We've got some singing groups coming in, musical groups, different things, and usually Beverly Bernardi's girls come and dance, and the people like that. And so there'll be a lot of entertainment. But I think the one thing that we can say is that we don't really receive any federal or state funding from anybody.
Yeah.
That is that we're, not that we wouldn't take it, but we're here and we, just kind of, we just live hand to mouth.
Well, what are you working on now? What's the future of the museum? Anything big coming up?
Well, actually, the future of the museum is actually not in aircraft. We're full, and it isn't like we wouldn't take something else if it was really neat and it comes along. But what we're trying to do now, this is a World War II hangar. It's a very historical hangar that we're in, but and our other hangar is also historical. But our main goal now is to try to finish up the cladding on the building and get, this hangar was built in 1942 in World War II. It's the last World War II hangar on the flight line, and it's not air conditioned and heated. But we need new lighting, we need siding, we just need to put a lot of things in it to make the hangar more friendly for people when they come. Now, even though it is a historical hangar, but I will say this, along with that, just kind of shift gears. The thing that I hear when people leave the museum is how much they love coming here. And I mean, they're genuine. It isn't
Absolutely.
And I ask them, I say, why would you like to come to this museum more than going to, like, the museum in Omaha, which is the SAC Museum, or, bigger museums with a lot more money and a lot more fancy stuff? And they say, we like your museum because it's up front and personal. It's a personal museum where we can get our hands on things, and we can touch, and we can look, and we can feel, and there isn't somebody standing around policing us ready to throw us out. So it's a warm fuzzy type museum with a tremendous amount. They can't believe how much stuff we have here. We really have a lot of possessions, and not only airplanes, but probably one of the biggest engine displays that there is in a museum anywhere, and different kinds of different display cases. One last thing I'd like to say is that we are getting geared up here for World War I.
Right.
And we're going to be putting in, over the next 4 years, this is the 100th anniversary of World War I, and we've got teams of people and separate people that are building display cases. When people come out, they can see World War I displays. And I realize that if people have been here before, they say we've seen the airplanes, but they like to come back and see those again. But the bottom line is they will see some new displays in the museum, which need to change, and so we'll be working on World War I displays primarily over the next 4 years. They're going in now, some of them.
Well, you can come back again and again, and there's always something new to spend some time on.
There sure is. And they can bring their kids and their grandkids. They can take lots of pictures. But and then we got our new flight simulator.
That is a biggie.
People love the flight simulator. That's something we wanted. They can actually fly a real airplane in a real environment that feels like an airplane. They can fly a Cub, or they can fly a Cessna, or some of our members like to fly a 737.
Wow, what an experience.
Yeah. So
well, Jeanne, it's tremendous, and thank you so much for allowing us inside. Next time we see you, we hope it's right here at the Combat Air Museum.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome to Kansas, gateway to Oz. the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part of Dorothy's